Welcome to Morning Joan, the only podcast where we spill the tea and get real about the latest news and trends. I'm your host, Joan, and I'm so glad you're joining me today. Grab a cup of coffee, get comfortable, and let's dive into the juicy stuff. So, have you heard about the latest controversy surrounding actress Sydney Sweeney? No, it's not about her acting skills or her latest role in a hit TV show. It's about her genes. Yes, you heard that right, her genes. Specifically, an ad campaign she did for American Eagle, where she talks about having good genes. Now, I know what you're thinking, what's the big deal about that? Well, apparently, some people on the left were upset about the ad, claiming it was tone-deaf and promoted a problematic message about beauty and genetics. But here's the thing, the backlash was minimal, and most people just didn't care. I mean, who gets worked up over a denim ad? But of course, that didn't stop the right-wing media and politicians from jumping all over it, trying to turn it into a big deal. Ted Cruz, Megyn Kelly, and even Donald Trump himself weighed in on the issue, claiming that the left was melting down over the ad and that Sweeney was being unfairly targeted. Now, I'm not going to lie, it's been pretty entertaining watching the right try to manufacture outrage over this non-story. I mean, come on folks, if you're going to try to create a controversy, at least pick something worthwhile. But what's really interesting is how Sweeney herself has responded to all of this. Or rather, how she hasn't responded. Despite being thrust into the center of this fake controversy, she's remained remarkably silent, not taking the bait or engaging with the trolls. And that, my friends, is the real tea. It's clear that Sweeney isn't interested in being a darling of the conservative movement, and she's not going to let herself get pulled into their games. So, while the right continues to try to stir up outrage over her jeans ad, Sweeney is just over here, living her best life and looking great in those American Eagle jeans. We'll be right back with more tea on Morning Joan. Welcome back to Morning Joan. We're diving into the world of everyday etiquette and exploring some common mistakes we might be making at our favorite stores. You know, those places where we often find ourselves getting lost in the aisles or simply enjoying a casual browse. Today, we're talking about Target, that magical retail wonderland where you can find anything from trendy clothes to home decor, and of course, those irresistible one bins by the checkout. Now, have you ever stopped to think about how your behavior might be impacting others around you while shopping? Maybe you're one of those people who likes to snack on a granola bar while browsing through the shelves. Or perhaps you've been known to try out a lipstick shade without properly disposing of the tester afterwards. Whatever it is, chances are we've all been guilty of a few retail faux pas at some point. Our experts today weigh in on some of the most annoying things shoppers do at Target, from eating food before buying it. Yes, that includes those pesky free samples, to not following basic hygiene practices while handling merchandise. It seems even something as simple as sticky fingers and decorative pillows can become a recipe for disaster when combined. According to etiquette expert Joe Hayes, being mindful of our actions in public spaces like stores is crucial. She notes that behaviors such as these aren't just about personal preference, but also about respect for others and maintaining a clean, comfortable environment for everyone. So, what can we do differently? For starters, waiting until after you've paid to enjoy your snack is not only polite, but also helps prevent any potential messes or contamination. And when it comes to testing products like makeup, ensuring you properly dispose of any used testers is key. By being more considerate in our daily shopping habits, we can all contribute to a better experience for those around us. After all, who doesn't love walking into a tidy and welcoming store? Stay tuned for today's last cup of tea, right here on Morning Joan. Welcome back to Morning Joan, darlings. It's time for our final segment, where we dish out the latest scoop from Tinseltown. Today, we're talking box office numbers, and honey, it's a wild ride. So, let's get straight into it. The big news is that Thunderbolts has ended its theatrical run, and I've got to say, it's not exactly a fairy tale ending. According to Forbes, the film lost a pretty penny at the box office. Now, I know what you're thinking, how could this happen? Well, sweethearts, it seems like the competition was just too fierce. But don't worry, there are some new kids on the block who are shaking things up. Julia Garner and Josh Brolin's horror thriller Weapons is projected to take the top spot at the domestic box office this weekend, with a whopping $38 million from 3T82 theaters. I mean, can you believe it? An R-rated film taking down the competition like that? It just goes to show that sometimes being a little edgy can pay off. And then there's Freakier Friday, the long-awaited sequel to the 2003 body switch comedy starring Jamie Lee Curtis and Lindsay Lohan. Now, I have to say, I'm a bit surprised it's not doing as well as expected. With only $30 million projected from 3,975 theaters, it seems like this film might be more of a freaky flop than a Freaky Friday. But hey, that's just the way the cookie crumbles in Hollywood, darlings. One day you're on top, and the next, you're sliding down to number 3, like the Fantastic Four First Steps. Ouch! And finally, let's give a quick shout out to The Bad Guys 2 and The Naked Gun reboot, both of which are holding their own at the box office. That's all for today's Morning Joan. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and until next time, stay fabulous.